It's your time to kill him, Tim.
Shane, I just want you to know, a minute and 30 left in the fight.
Minute 30. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Oh.
That's
a knockdown.
That's a knockdown.
But only Tim's landed blows so far.
Timmy's hurt.
All right.
Timmy's hurt.
Welcome, folks, to another episode of Sweet and Somber. And I'm super excited for these two gentlemen I have to the left and right of me. You know him well. He's basically my podcast husband, Shane Smith.
Very accurate. Very accurate.
No nickname here. And, of course, my brother, the feller from another cellar, Tim Ryan.
What's going on?
Dude, I'm super excited to have you guys on.
I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, so I just started this thing, and it's pretty much, if you can't tell, a podcast for degenerates.
Yeah.
Where we come and congregate, we tell stories, tall tales, clever quips, gumdrops, and I'm all about the anecdotes. So I just want to hear a couple of good anecdotes on here, a couple of good stories, and I think that today we have, I don't know if as much as a story as it is a promotion.
Yeah, I was wondering why exactly you wanted me here, and then when you told me, I'm like, awesome, I have to relive this again.
Yeah, I needed to kind of, I needed to kind of get you and Tim together in order to tell this wonderful tale.
Okay.
And it dates back.
Dates about 5 years ago, Tim?
It feels like it's like 5 years ago, isn't it? I feel like this all started on like a very late, sweaty summer night.
Yeah.
It was. And I think it was by your girlfriend's house.
Yes. We were doing a barbecue, and you guys were kind enough to all come out.
Yep.
And, we had the regular types of entertainment. You had cornhole, you had flip cup, you had beer pong. And then we decided to add our own form of entertainment that night for the very first time. And that's pretty much why we are where we are today.
Very
Yes.
true.
And that form of entertainment is front yard slap boxing.
That's true. We have pioneered the sport of yard shirtless slap fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not doing it right unless your shirt comes off.
That's actually true. And if anybody is unfamiliar with this, as you should be, it's essentially what it sounds like. It's two men, being straight barbarians, getting into the ring, aka a yard with dirt, together.
Just being sweaty.
Just being sweaty, shirtless. And were you guys pantless too?
No. We wear pants.
You know what it is? I feel like we always keep everything above the belt.
Yes.
We're very classy with slap fighting. We're not these degenerates that basically do boxing and aim for the head. No, we don't do any face shots. We understand that, we're very beautiful, handsome men, and, respecting the face is all about slap fighting.
Yes.
But everything within the torso, the arms is completely fair game. Pants stay on, which actually probably makes things a lot more complicated most of the time because we're fighting in jeans.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of like the rules of to paint a picture, the rules of slap fighting, because there's really no official rules. So I'm trying to set them now.
So basically, the way I always took it, as Tim said, no above the chest area. So nothing to the neck, nothing to the head, nothing below the waist.
Okay.
So no groin shots. We're very gentlemanlike there, and there has to be an official that is watching this at all times.
Now, we've done this twice, right? And our official is our friend Ant, who is Sauce McGavin, who you'll probably later see on a podcast episode at some point. But he's officiated both fights. And how many rounds? I think we've only did 3 rounds.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it is hard to say.
We would like to have 3 rounds, but the human body is only strong enough to withstand so much of that assault.
Yeah.
Before it just gives out. So it's ultimately more of a, we'd like to get to 3 rounds, and then most of the time we just collapse from exhaustion.
Yeah, I like to think of myself more as a Brock Lesnar type fighter. I go in, quick strikes, a lot of sweat, tired after 30 seconds.
Whoa! Yeah, big and sweaty.
Yeah, that's me.
I definitely feel like Rey Mysterio in the sense that I do get very squirrely.
You do. You're quick. You're very quick on your feet.
I try to do almost a 619 with my body, even though there's no rope there physically. In my mind there is, and that's what makes me swing around so much. But that does make me very exhausted because I am a piece of shit.
The thing to account for too is the fights happen in a front yard and a backyard, so the ground is really never like super level.
No, the first one was grass, sidewalk, grass.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different outside like environmental factors that take place when you're doing these shirtless slap fights. So if we don't have it in place right now, I'm thinking from moving forward, we do either 5 rounds of 3-minute slap fighting, or if you think it's too tiring, maybe 3 rounds of 3-minute slap fighting.
We're going 3 rounds of 3-minute slap fighting.
Not 5 rounds.
I don't even know if me and Tim can make the 3 rounds, considering all right, so me and Tim have slap boxed twice now, and the second one lasted about 1 minute and 20 seconds, and I almost threw up.
Yeah, my brother interrupted the last one. So, so we did it twice. So the first one we did by your girlfriend's house, and it was basically Shane and Tim on a whim. There was a long story like leading up to this too.
Yeah.
Basically, Shane was trying to get whisked away with the prospect of sleeping with a girl that I'm not going to name, just because she told someone that she wanted Shane. Right?
Yeah, that is
Who
pretty much
doesn't want Shane though?
That's
I
true.
completely understand that.
That's true. We were trying to get confirmation of this. I don't think it ever did.
We never got confirmation.
I told Shane I don't think you should go because I think this is going to be a total waste of your time.
And I agreed with that, which is why I ended up slapboxing shirtless instead.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, Shane didn't go. But the thing was, the slap fight winner was declared that girl.
Which makes no sense when you really think about it.
I just want to say that like the only reason I got involved in this wasn't for me to win for myself. It was for me to win for you. So the whole idea was that if I won, you had to go.
That's right,
That is
because
true.
I just didn't want to go. So if I won,
Yes.
I just wasn't going to go.
I did everything for you, Shane, as I always do. And so I did this fight just simply because the person officiating, which was Sauce McGavin, had basically declared like what the winner and loser would get. So if you lost, if I lost, then you didn't have to go.
Spoiler, I won.
Shane won. Now let's talk about this first slap fight. I don't remember. Yeah, but let's really get into this. Let's really dive in. Because the thing is, you said it didn't go the full 3. I guess it went 2 rounds.
I think it went 2 rounds. I do think we had one intermission.
There was definitely a blur of sweat and a lot of sweat.
There's also an ongoing theme that me and Tim drink before we do these.
Yes.
The only way to do a fight, and I can't, and this is the thing, I will say this. I think the amount of time that's spent on the rounds is completely fair because I've never actually been in a real physical altercation because I just avoid conflict. I can even tell you the one time that I got jumped, I basically was just like, all right, cool. And I just hung out and just got punched a couple times. And then I was like, all right, guys, see ya.
Wait, you forgot a 5.
Yeah. Basically, literally, I just stood there. They didn't knock me down. I just got like socked around like one of those like a clown, like if you punch one of those rubber clowns
shoots
and
right back up.
Yeah, that's basically what I was. I was the immovable object. And then I was like, all right, good talk. See you guys later. Besides that, I've never been in an actual fight. And I can tell you that these rounds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, feel like an eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Especially for 2 guys that get incredibly dehydrated drinking White Claws and Miller Lights excessively before deciding to just slap each other.
That's actually a great point. Now I realize there's really no way you guys could do more than 3 minutes. It's like impossible.
Yeah, especially since the second fight, I had a bottle of Prosecco, 2 shots of Crystal Head, and 2 White Claws.
Yeah, you're right.
I was destined for failure that night.
You're constantly moving, and like the more I'm thinking about, like what Tim said, like that's 3 minutes. Like it sounds so minuscule when you're saying it and you're putting it out there in the ether, but in reality, it probably feels like forever. And like you're dealing with the terrain.
Well,
you're dealing with the sandbagging referee.
Yeah. So we'll talk about
Thank
this
you for
referee.
that.
All right, let's go back to fight 1.
Fight 1.
Which I won. Now, a lot of
Debatable.
people will say it is a contested decision because Tim got off more strikes, apparently.
I definitely did get a lot more strikes in, Shane. I will say, I even remember you saying during the fight, wow, Tim is really fast. I did not think I was physically capable of letting out those strikes, but I got a fair amount in.
Yeah.
I will say that. I don't like to boast.
No, and you're allowed to boast, but the referee awarded me the fight.
But why?
I think it was based off of points.
What points?
Okay,
What points were
yeah.
you getting that I wasn't?
Then you're definitely gonna get points for obvious contact made on skin, and you're probably gonna lose and get points deducted for just slaps missed.
That's true. You know what it is? Tim was throwing so many out, so he might have missed more. Me, I was very calculated in my strikes.
You were saying you had tactical hand slapping precision.
Yes.
All right. I remember, I would say that my accuracy count during that fight would be within the 90th percentile.
Okay.
90th percentile range. I am a modest warrior. I'm never going to brag. I'm just saying, I have a conspiracy. I really think I lost that fight because people did not want to have to go all the way to like, what was it, like Arlington or something?
I honestly
just
don't
for the
remember.
prospect of some chick just going, I was seriously kidding when I said I wanted Shane, which is her loss.
She's like, I just made a joke. I was just talking, and like Shane's name came up, and I remember him from school. Like 10 years ago.
I think the best part of all this is she has no idea that all of this transpired over a comment.
It's pretty funny.
It's
actually
hilarious.
and it's a comment made by our friend Danny, who is known to make outlandish comments.
That's the thing. Like once he says something, I almost always never take it at face value.
Which is why I didn't want to go, because I was like, yeah, this is all kind of bullshit.
That's the thing about Danny. Like I believe when he's gonna do something or when he
100
says something, I just never think it's like accurate or to like what's
It might be blown
gonna
out
happen.
of proportion. Yeah,
100%.
There was no way I was going to show up there and that was going to end up well.
Okay, you show up there. You show up at the party. You can only imagine the dregs of society that are at that party. So you go to that party.
And we're degenerates, so you can only imagine
100%.
how low
Yeah.
tier these people were.
Yeah. So you go to this party. Everyone's swaying around like zombies, and you just meet her, and she's like, "Okay, let's take 5 in the closet real quick." Like, you think that's how this night's gonna play out?
No,
I know, like, but I don't know what.
not at all.
I'm trying to like envision how this is gonna happen. Do you think can you envision what would happen at that night?
Yeah, she'd be like, what the hell are you doing here?
She's like, "Oh, hey, Shane," give you a hug, and then that would be.
That's the end of the night. Then I just come back and I'm like, hey, want to slap box again?
So 2 things here. I think Danny is the master chef. He not only had taken the pot, put it on the stove, set it to high heat, and stirred everything up and got this whole thing going. This all started from a simple, reminiscent comment. I think we should have gone there and done the slap fight on their lawn for your honor, and you would have, regardless, especially because you won, would have looked amazing.
Yeah.
And that night would have panned out incredibly. I would be willing to leave the barbecue I was hosting for this.
Yeah, I don't know many things about girls, but one thing I do know about them is they love a slap boxing victor.
Of course.
They can't resist one.
And you guys are shirtless too. There's like a sense of like bravado and barbarism
and
here.
this was 5 years ago, that first fight. I was actually in good shape back then.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No, definitely neither of us are in good shape. I was definitely more of a stick figure who looked pregnant.
Yeah.
I would say,
Yeah,
I was
that's fair.
putting on a lot of pounds from eating a lot of Buffalo Wild Wings and just drinking a lot of like tall boys. But now I would say
fat look.
I would say I was in more shape then than I definitely am now for fight 2. But
Oh, God, fight 2.
Okay. We can talk about fight 2.
all right.
Okay,
All right.
so fight 2. We're at a great party.
It's in my backyard.
Yes.
That's true.
And we're having fun. We're playing some beer dice. We're drinking. There's beer pong. Great time. Me and Tim, we joke about the slap boxing a little bit that night. Then out of nowhere, the night is getting close to winding down. Tim burst out of the house, shirtless. Swear to God, fastest my shirt has ever come off in my life.
It was literally epic. I remember a shot of like Shane, like you getting ready, your shirt's off. Tim just busts out, his shirt's off too. Like this is like happening so fast, put together so fast. I like the commitment, like on a whim, like very. And did you see like the second we mentioned it, how everybody shifted from inside the house to outside the house?
The group was so excited.
And there was like 20 people at my house, maybe a little less, but it was around 20.
Yeah.
And everybody just like literally they're shirtless slap fight, and I feel like there might have even been a few neighbors just watching from the windows.
Oh, without a doubt.
It was a spectacle.
Only person not excited about this was Damien.
Yeah, my brother who owns the property was not too thrilled at us making noise in the middle of the night, even though we live in an area where we really don't have many neighbors. I mean, I think there's a guy named Mike or Mark that lives in back of me, and I got this family wasn't here. The one that they clean the ATVs and they listen to really loud Spanish music at all kinds of crazy hours of the night. And the only reason why I'm not calling the cops on them is because one of the girls that live there is super hot.
That's fair.
That is very fair.
But over here, this old guy, he's retired. He gave me a snowblower and booked. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. Adios. But seriously, we don't have a lot of neighbors. So I don't know why Damien was like super, super worried. But I guess because there was a lot of noise. He didn't want the cops to come. This is also in the height of the pandemic, I think. And we had like...
No, it wasn't. It was like towards the end.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't.
I think everybody at this point was already vaccinated or had
at
least one of their shots.
It was in April. It was in April.
Everybody was already well equipped for that group.
Yeah,
it was
in April.
I feel like the liability was more so he was either A, afraid that we were going to take ourselves out on that terrain.
Which is fair.
Or B, both of us died of cardiac arrest on the spot, which also could have happened if we continued that fight.
That's true. Because in all fairness, like the land is very sloped in my backyard.
Yes,
like,
which is how I won the fight.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to argue too hard on this fight because I acknowledge what had happened, and we'll go into it.
I'll admit, I was getting my ass handed to me.
You were literally getting your nipples slapped off of your body.
Okay.
I barely have nipples anymore because of that fight.
I just want to. Okay, so I just want to. If you don't mind, I just want to back up a little bit. Just
100%. 100%.
Here's what happened. So I get word from our the referee who officiates our matches, Sauce McGavin. He tells me Shane's talking a big game. He's outside drinking Prosecco and telling everybody he's ready to go for another slap fight. So what do? I go upstairs. I go to the bathroom. I throw some water on my face. I look myself in the mirror and I say, Tim, it's time. Bring him out. Bring the beast back out. Just one more round. Tim. You can do this. I come out blasting Metalingus from Edge's theme song from the WWE, and I rip my shirt off. And Shane, without hesitation, has now also ripped his shirt off, almost like a reflex, like almost basically acknowledging, yes, it is time.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Almost like, speaking of our horror movie background,
yeah.
Like when they make the promise to kill it and they have to go back to kill it? Like you guys had to finish something that you guys started.
Right.
It's true. We did.
Right. We definitely, at least there wasn't like either like a giant spider involved or people just getting impaled. This was just it's definitely not it, but at the same time, we had a job to finish, and I still think our job is not done.
It is not. That fight ended early, and it ended because of basically a pothole.
Yeah. Yeah. So like basically what really happened was, if I'm not mistaken, Tim was literally slapping the tits off Shane. I think Tim slipped.
Yep.
And then Damien was like, okay, enough is enough. Stop the fight.
And the fight was awarded to me because Tim had fallen. That is the only reason I won. One knockdown.
You know what? No, I lie. I'm gonna argue this because I'm just bullshit.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No.
Let it out, Tim.
Here's what happened. I recall the land being flat, and then something happened where the land gave way. I almost feel like that hole was manifested for me to lose. That hole was not always there. I stood on that ground before. That was flat earth. That was as flat as earth can get. And I just took one step back, and then suddenly the earth wasn't so flat anymore. And I know I didn't fall. I just happened to be stretching out on one leg, and my ass was just hovering over the ground. I did not hit the ground. Are we going to make the argument that if you hit the ground, is it when your ass touches the ground? Because I feel like from everyone's perspective, it looked like I fell. But I didn't fall. In my mind, I didn't fall.
Interesting. That's an interesting take.
From everyone's angle, where everybody was viewing me from, they thought that I fell backwards when I really just kind of had my one leg stretched out, and then I bounced back. And at that point, the match was over, and Shane was declared the victor.
So I'm gonna say this to that. One, I really don't know because there's video of this fight just for everyone listening.
I need to see this footage.
And as Tim is falling, you clearly see me stumble out of the frame and then stumble into frame, clearly gasping for air. I was dying.
Yeah, it was because you, like I said, one of you guys mentioned earlier, drinking, dehydrated, out of shape, unholy terrain.
Yeah. Also, I didn't have any motivation in that fight.
There was nothing to win.
There was nothing on the line. There wasn't me getting to not go see a girl. Like I kind of need that motivation.
And there wasn't any like single girls at the party too much for you to be like, I need to win someone over.
No,
because people think like this whole YouTube and TikTok boxing fad that's happening right now is really getting the chicks in. It's not true. It's all about backyard and front yard slap fighting.
No, that is what it's all about.
It brings in incredible amounts of pussy, unholy amounts. If you just take your shirt off, sweat a little bit in front of the public.
Yeah, no, I can confirm that. That's very true. As a 2-0 slap boxer, I'm drowning in it.
Okay. All right. Listen, I'm not going to deny the sheer sexuality of the minute that two men come out and take their shirts off and they're wearing jeans and they're dehydrated and they look like they're about to just require CPR. Doesn't get any single ladies in the area just all hot and bothered. There might have even been women in the area like your neighbor that just was like, why am I feeling so hot under the collar all of a sudden? I don't understand why this is happening to me.
Let's be honest. As soon as me and Tim took off the shirts, the panties hit the floor.
Panties hit the floor.
It's true.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
I think if they smell the aroma of just man sweat.
Yeah, no,
it's
it
in
just
the air.
gets them.
Like, you know, like they say, like bears can smell when women have their periods.
Yes.
Literally, women smell when men are slapping sweat off other men's bodies.
Yeah.
And you guys are just two sexy, ivory,
Thank you,
barbarians just slapping each other, slapping the sweat off your pores, leaking down your brow.
Yeah. Gasping for air.
Just red stains of handprint on your skin and stained in your pigmentation of your skin.
hot pink hand marks, the moonlight just shining off how ivory we are.
It's true. I am extremely white. You slap me in the stomach, it's staying there for a day or
That's
two.
a mark. That's a mark.
Yeah. So let's talk realistically about the second fight. Did I actually get any shots off on Tim?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. Maybe one tops. Like
you had a couple good ones. I'm not gonna lie. You did really have some good ones. It actually caught me off guard.
Caught me off guard.
I was reluctant to be as aggressive because when I would go in for a hit, you were a little bit more. You having fought me the first time, you expected my ability to fake you out.
Yes, which is why I played a very defensive style in the second fight.
I noticed that, like, just like as a bystander, I noticed how defensive you both were. Not a lot of you guys were taking a lot of shots in the second fight.
You might know what it is. The first fight, we were full of youth and vigor at 25. And now at 30, I'm just sluggish with Taco Bell. And that it doesn't work anymore.
You know what's interesting too about the first fight is that we were doing it. And this has never been done before. So we did have a bystander that was coming to the party, just kind of walk in.
That was actually my favorite part of that first fight.
He kind of like walks in, observes the fight. He looks over. I'm like, front yard shirtless slap fighting. He goes, nah, I got it. And he just like walks in the backyard.
He actually debated, because it was a friend of a friend. He debated that he was at the wrong party because he comes this is a guy coming all the way from New York City in an Uber, long day at work.
In a suit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was in a suit. Imagine getting out of the car in a suit, having a long day at work, and the first thing you see is just two semi out of shape white guys just slapping the shit out of each other on the front lawn. You're like, either if you know a good time, you're like, that's the party I want to be at.
Yeah.
Or you're this guy and you're utterly terrified because there's two white guys just slapping the shit out of each other on a front lawn. You're like, I'm at the wrong party. I'm definitely at the wrong party. But he came in, you know.
Yeah, he did.
There was a part of me that kind of wished he just got back in the Uber and left.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you know what? Just drive down the block.
Get me out of here.
I'm going home. I'm not doing this.
Like hot dogs in the back, sir.
What did we eat at that bar? It was hot dogs, hamburgers, the usual.
Yeah, I think it was barbecue food. It was good stuff.
It was a very good barbecue.
I can't thank you. I really appreciate that. I can't recall if it was before or after the fight that I put a lot of stank on the spices, because there was a point where I had just become so inebriated, probably from the depression caused from losing a fight I definitely won, that I just decided to just go full down the dark path and just continue drinking Miller Lights. And I just had this like little stank move that I had going. I was like, and everybody was feeling it. I definitely overseasoned the shit out of those ShopRite grade hamburger patties.
There is no such thing as over-seasoning meat. I'm going to be honest now. I have no recollection of anything that happened after the fight. It is all a blur.
Well, you had that victory blackout.
Yeah, exactly. It's the victory blackout. I'm like, thank God I don't have to go see this girl that definitely doesn't want to see me.
That's her loss, though.
That's her loss.
Again, and we were fighting for your honor that night. So in a way,
I appreciate it.
I'm like, as upset I am about being sandbagged, and I will continue to be, I'm happy that you got that under your belt. And maybe after we come back to this in a couple more years, we'll be like, what, like 35?
Yeah. If we're doing every 5 years.
We're gonna have
35.
We're gonna have EMTs on site. We're gonna have defibrillators available. Anybody that knows CPR, please you're welcome to come down to this fight. It's definitely gonna be held at night at the tail end of a party. And then Damian, depending if he is also hosting that fight, will probably shut it down before Shane collapses and or I collapse.
I'm thinking we do it at a park.
We do it at a park. Okay.
Flat ground park.
Like Final Destination Super Smash Brothers style.
Yes,
like there is no
obstacles.
BS obstacles.
No
or BS
concrete,
terrain.
no BS terrain, just a nice flat
Tim,
ground.
I do have to say, you do know Sauce McGavin will have to officiate the third fight as well.
Okay. I know. That's just how this goes. I just for everybody at home, I just want you to understand that Sauce McGavin is the only person licensed to officiate these types of naked slap fights. And if it's got to be him, it's got to be him. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to judge his professionalism. I'm not going to judge where he learned his ability to judge slap fighting. I'm just gonna respect the rules of slap fighting here, folks. If we could get the footage, I wish there was footage for Slap Fight 1.
I would do too.
Me too.
I actually would love to see that.
I definitely want to see that.
It paints me in such an out of shape and bad way.
I specifically remember the tail end of that fight, and I distinctly remember you looking down and breathing, and it's like you look like that meme of LeBron James in like the finals where he's like this, and he's like staring at the camera like that.
Except he's motivated, or I'm just making sure I live.
Right, you're just fighting for survival. You're fighting for your fucking life, and it's not even about me anymore. It's just about trying to get to the end of the fight.
Yeah. So those are two epic slap fights. But the reason I brought these two men was to recap those events, but also because I want to already start promotion on Slap Fight 3.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, what are we putting on the line? What girl do I not want to say that we could put on the line?
I don't know. Maybe girls will line up and just like want to put themselves on the line for you.
It's possible. It's very possible.
I actually would be fine for that. Like any women that want to like sign up for this and just be like, if Shane wins, because I'm going to get sandbagged anyway, regardless of what happens.
When Shane...
I've already accepted my fate. There's personal victories in this that I take home, and that's it.
I think he's going to call this fight down the line like he has done in the first two.
Really?
Okay. There we go,
Is that a bold take?
That's a take.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the overwhelming sentiment is that Shane has won clear and away the first two fights. However, both have been lauded as misjudged fights.
Yeah.
As two of the biggest, not upsets, two of the biggest robberies. Sandbaggings of our time. With everyone pretty much who's there saying, wait, Shane won that? That's kind of like how...
that's actually what happens every time. You're like, wait a second, it's over? It's already over?
The best part, though, is I always have my hand being raised.
That's the thing. And then Tim usually goes into a drunken stupor afterwards and starts slapping different seasonings on meat.
It's the only thing I can do at that point. I mean, for anybody in my position, if anybody in my shoes, in my sweaty jeans would understand, you got to find an outlet.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it.
I'm also going to try not to wear jeans in the third
I think we
fight.
should do cutoffs this time.
Cutoff
We
jeans.
should do like cutoff jeans.
Ooh,
Yeah.
go like really short so we
Yes.
have room for mobility.
I was gonna say either A, room for mobility, or cut off complete circulation of the legs.
Okay.
Agreed. So here's what I'm thinking, guys.
me hear
Okay,
it.
let's do the part. I need outlets. Want to know why? Because I'm going to do a live episode of my podcast there.
Oh, I like it.
We're gonna have live commentary. We're gonna stream it up on Twitch or YouTube. Not even, it's gonna be completely free to the public.
I like
because there's gonna be a promotional third one to really get the sport out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta do a little PR work before you build anything, right? So this will be our first entryway into the world of shirtless slap fighting. And I'm gonna need you two, obviously, Sauce McGavin. We're definitely gonna. I'm not really worried about a crowd. A crowd will naturally gather, as
Of
we've
course,
mentioned.
of course.
I'm gonna need a ring girl. So anybody that wants to be a ring girl, get in contact with one of us, please. We're gonna need a ring girl.
It's got to be someone hot.
Got to be somebody hot and the ability to do one of these.
We need at least one person there who is actually in shape and fit, because the two of us are the antithesis of that.
Oh, no, I'm going to start training.
You're going to start training.
Getting ready for this.
And here's another thing I want. I want an undercard.
Undercard.
I want an
Really?
undercard because you guys are the main event. Obviously, you guys are bringing the heads in the
Yeah.
park. I want an undercard. So I'm trying to think, who can we get out of our degenerate friend group that would be a real sell?
Dream matchup. Benanti and Danny.
Holy hell! Battle of
That's
the
it.
two previous
That's it.
apartment
Nobody else
holders.
will do. Nobody else will do. I'm with this.
Okay, so we're gonna have Benanti and Danny as the undercard, as the black match, if you will.
Yes.
You know, Danny loves a good dark black match.
There's a lot of.
If you watch wrestling,
I
you
don't
never
look,
could say it right.
Yeah, I don't understand how he never grasped the concept that it's called a dark match when it's not televised. He just called it a black match.
He's like, how about this been before the fight?
Ridiculous human.
I like it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
I think in terms of the people fighting, Danny, you know, I will say I might be leaning more towards Danny in this fight. Nothing against Nancy here, but because Danny's got the reach, he's got like almost like a I feel like I could picture his arm coming around and almost getting somebody in the back of the shoulder.
That's true, because he doesn't really have much control of where his hand goes after he puts it out there.
Yeah,
just throws
no
it. He's
control
just
of
gonna
his
throw
limbs.
them.
See, but the thing with Danny is, and this is why I would put every dollar in my bank account on Benanti,
Okay.
is his body starts failing.
He doesn't.
It's
yeah,
definitely going to be a short fight.
his back, I don't know if it can support him anymore.
Yeah,
He's-
it's true.
I
It's
don't
true.
know.
But Tim is right. With the long reach, that could surprise Benanti.
Now, what about? Because they're both. Let's just say they're both not in the best shape anymore. Because we're getting older. None of us really are.
No.
We're all around the same age. Benanti might be a little bit more agile than Danny. By a little, I mean a shit ton.
Definite agility there for sure.
I guess the advantage definitely to Danny is the fact that he's got the reach and he's got these flailing arms, like one of those things at the fucking car lot.
Yeah, a wacky
Or
inflatable
like-
arm flailing tube man.
Yeah, or like a some kind of a kraken or an octopi. Is it an octopi? A group
Yeah.
of octopus? Is it an octopi?
I think it's maybe.
Just one octopus.
I have no idea.
Just one
Did you
eight-armed octopus.
did you guys have a different dream match that you want to see?
Oh, non-celebrity, just our friends, just degenerate people.
Yeah.
Bunch of crones. Let me think. I would love to see. And okay, how about this one? Ready?
I'm ready.
Scott and Dale.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I definitely see
'Cause-
like this difference in like there's almost like it's kind of a nice pairing because you've got like a little bit more of a height advantage on one. But then the
Scott's
other-
taller.
But then
Yeah.
the other person lower to the ground is going to have a little bit more speed and agility.
Get those body shots in.
Exactly, those body shots.
And I feel like Dale could surprise you. You know? I
Yeah.
think he might be scrappy.
I think he is.
Yeah.
I know. I know Scott is like he says he's out of shape, but he plays baseball, or at least he throws a baseball.
He definitely throws
And
one.
he wears a backwards hat like me, so he's somewhat of an athlete.
So you're saying if my hat was backwards, I'd be more athletic
You'd
right
be
now.
more respected as a slap boxer,
Okay.
that's for sure.
I got to start wearing it backwards a little more often then. I get that.
Okay, this is my dream matchup:
Ooh.
Sauce McGavin versus Sauce McGavin, reffed by Sauce McGavin.
I feel like I would win that fight.
You would. I'd still lose it naturally. I feel like I would just be like off to the side and declared the loser for something that I did.
That is wild, Tim. I like that dream matchup.
That is my penultimate dream matchup. Definitely physically impossible. I think if it were to happen, I think the heavens would implode and the earth would collapse. But because that is not physically possible, or I do not know anybody who knows how to clone people, I can defer to your 2 dream matchups because those are actually plausible.
Yeah. How about this one? Another one that might even be more implausible than the one that you just had. Giovanni versus the outside world.
Oh my God.
That's fucked up.
Are you basically like almost like a fighting style, like when you play like games like Tekken or something where they just keep sending in fighters? So basically like he just stands there and people just keep entering the ring and then he just has to slap them.
I was just thinking it's more Giovanni actually opening his front door to go outside is the fight.
It's just like
a Streets of Rage thing where
Yes.
he just starts fighting people in the middle of the road.
I'm just questioning. I don't even know. I think the outside world's going to win because I actually don't think he's going to leave the house.
Yeah. The outside wins by forfeit?
By forfeit. Like, it's easy because you don't
He's
even...
going to debate this. I feel like
Yeah.
he's going to debate. He needs a chance to defend himself here.
Suffice.
Suffice.
You know what? Maybe I can get him on real quick.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, let's see it.
If he's at home, which he probably is, he'll definitely pick up. Is this wood?
I think so.
All right.
Nice.
All right, I'm giving him a call right now. Let's see. Let's get him on.
I'm in suspense.
Me too.
What time does he wake up?
That's a good point.
Doesn't have much of a schedule. It's kind of just like whatever he wants to do, which is why I'm always going to take the outside world. Yeah, man, that's a shame. I really wanted to talk to him. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Might
okay.
call back.
So let's go through our dream matches, and we'll just pick our winners.
All right.
So I'm saying Benanti in mine.
I'm also going to say Benanti.
In my case, if that happens, the rapture occurs. So, I mean, I'm going to lose. Shane's going to win. And Sauce McGavin technically wins in either case.
Oh, no. I mean, who do you think? Benanti, Danny. We'll go through each of the fights.
Oh,
first.
okay. I'm sorry. I'm still focused on this, like...
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to your fight third.
Event that is not plausible. Okay. I'm still betting on Danny for Benanti Danny.
Okay, so now we go to Scott versus Dale. We glossed over a little bit, but...
I really don't, I don't know what to expect. Is that fair to say? Like, I really don't. This is the one where I'm, like, so at odds with because I don't know what to expect from either or.
I don't either, but I know Dale is filled with deli meats, so I'm going to give the fight to Scott.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Scott for the height and the length here.
Yeah.
That was my logic with Danny.
Yeah.
But I know that's more of a risky bet because Danny could potentially collapse
Yeah.
like a Jenga tower.
We're going off, yeah, exactly. And that we're talking about the same guy that thought he could cross-country hike, and we know that that's not
possible.
He couldn't walk literally 10 feet. So, yeah, I'm going to go in a tight one, I think, because I think Dale's going to get a lot of body shots on Scott. I'm going to go Scott because he might connect a lot. He might get a couple of face shots because of his length.
Yeah, kind of just like reach down.
Yeah, but those are not counted. And
That's true.
Oh, you're right.
Face
I
shot-
forgot about that.
You're
face shots are
right.
not counted, and I think we do have to make a contingency for if any face shots occur, because I can imagine that is definitely going to throw the other fighter off its axis, that we need to like call like a timeout.
Would Scott be too tall? Would that hurt him now? Because Dale is lined up perfectly
Do
with
we
the
need
body.
to make like weight classes and height classes for this?
Nah, that's nah. I kind of like this. We're degenerates, as Brian says. So
Yeah, man.
you know what? I'm changing it. It's Dale. I think Scott gets disqualified for too many face shots.
Oh, a DQ?
And Scott is like very hot-tempered.
Yeah.
You know, I think his emotions might get the best of him. I'm also going to go Dale now. I have been swayed.
You know what? I'm gonna say Dale as well. I think what this is how I envision the fight playing out. I envision Dale definitely getting a lot of hits in, and then Scott's definitely gonna have some good hits. But then I can tell you, being a professional slap fighter, when you start to lose your edge, you get frustrated, you make mistakes, just like any sport.
Do you know what would be my tactic? And I think this is the tactic that Dale might use. When Scott goes in for the slap, he might slap his arm.
That's what I was doing in fight 2 against Tim.
You definitely had some very solid deflections. It threw me off guard. The defensive mode you went into during that fight. I was very proud.
Thank you. All right, so let's go to the Sauce McGavin versus Sauce McGavin with Sauce McGavin as the ref fight, where I am declaring myself the victor.
I am also going to go you as the winner on this one as well.
I've spoken my piece. We already know who wins this. I definitely lose.
Okay, and the last one, Giovanni versus the world. I take the world every time.
Definitely the world.
If Giovanni wins, this is the biggest upset in human history. This is literally the biggest upset ever.
You're absolutely right. So, dream fights out of the way. We got the undercard done. We got the blackout matches settled. We're slap boxing at a park. Sauce McGavin is the ref again. I guess it's just me and Tim. How long do we have to train for this?
I don't know. 3 3-minute rounds. We'll keep it the same. You said we're barking this up for 5 years.
We're saying every 5 years, but the more we talk about it, the more maybe we should get this going by next year.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's set this up for how about a year?
Yeah.
How about 5 months from now?
Ooh, 5 months.
That's gonna be the heat of the winter.
Yeah, I was thinking.
By heat, I mean the fucking blizzard.
I'm thinking maybe sometime in the spring, like a nice. What if we just do it in April again?
Okay, we'll give it a year. We'll do it in April.
Okay, I got a year to get myself into semi shape, particularly just have a little bit more cardio under my belt.
Looks like I gotta join LA Fitness. Get ready. Muscle up. I'm still probably gonna lose, but
Dude,
win.
Come on, you're gonna win. This.
But when?
All right. I do have a couple of caveats for this fight. One, the park already being declared is a huge bonus because I am going to thoroughly have someone inspect the land prior to the fight to make sure that there's no mystery potholes that suddenly come up out of the ground and pull my foot down.
No divots. Clean, flat earth.
Absolutely no divots. Second thing is going to be, and this is already the advantage of being in the park, is we can have the fight encircle, and essentially the people will create the arena around us.
I like that.
Because
very Fight Club.
Literally thinking the same thing. Very Fight Club.
And I think this will draw more people to us because people, whenever they see a gathering, they got to go see it. What's going on over there?
And we're going to call it the island.
I like it.
Because it's like you're creating your own piece of land.
Yeah, I like it.
I like that. And I think the advantage here is a lot of the fights that have occurred in the past two fights that we've had, it's always been from one perspective. So everybody's always been on one side of the arena watching Shane and I fight. And I feel like there's a little bit of debate there sometimes because people aren't seeing the full picture of what's going on.
It's true. That's true.
Fair.
Right?
That's very fair.
Besides the footage, and even the footage is only from one angle.
Yeah, we need it from multiple different angles so multiple people can see from. We get like a diversity of perspective here. Everything is kind of caught. Everything is seen. It's not just like one angle that everyone's viewing from.
All right. So I think with all of that stated, we just need what is the prize? What are me and Tim fighting for?
Yeah. And I think
Love, I think. Love.
Love.
In general, peace and love. No, but...
World peace.
It's world peace is on the line, folks.
Tim's fighting for love. I'm fighting for world peace.
We're gonna solve world hunger with this fight. No, but I think definitely just any woman who wants to just sign up to be Shane's affection is really all I'm fighting for myself out there. I don't really care if I win anything. Like it's all intrinsic to me.
How about this? Like this is what I'm thinking. There's gonna be a girl on the line for Shane.
Okay, so I am pushing them away because that's what I do when I fight normally.
Yeah. Girl on the line for Shane. Any takers? Let me know. Tim wins, reverses the decisions of the previous two fights.
So I technically win the other two fights. So then you're record.
Whoa, that is. I don't fuck a girl. I want my 2 wins.
Okay, so we're not going to do that. Shane's very adamant that's not going to happen.
I can't lose my 2 wins.
Shane was about to slap fight right now in the studio.
Yeah, he's about to go.
I was about to throw down with Brian.
Okay. Fair enough. So that's not going to happen. Shane gets the girl. Tim wins. This is just for bragging rights to prove that, okay, I should have won the first 2 fights. Is like a morality boost for Tim?
Well, how about this? If Tim wins, I will concede that he won fight 1.
Wow. Okay. So that would potentially make me
2-1, and I would be 1-2.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's not.
I think that's fair. I can't give them both, but I
This
can
is
give
a
them one.
concession of one win.
Yes,
This is over the debate of fight one, which is really where this all started for me.
correct.
You know, I can make my arguments for fight two, but at the same time, I can also understand why it was declared a win for you.
Yes. So I am okay with putting my first win on the line.
That's the cool thing about there's not a lot of like legalism involved in this sport. This is like how basketball formed when
Yes.
they just made their own rules. We don't have fight classes. This is very street. Two men from different backgrounds, different weight classes. Anything can come up and just slap the sweat off each other. And that's what we're doing here. We're not making rules.
No.
Shane's literally forking over a win if Tim pulls it off.
Yeah. What other sport does that? Besides like maybe college football where they just disqualify people from wins years later.
That is true. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing here. Nothing is sanctioned. Everything is just front yard / backyard mayhem. Except this time I think it's going to be in a park.
Yeah. Just so we have flat ground.
All right. I'm definitely down for this. I also think that Sauce McGavin needs his own official referee merch.
Yeah, he needs a shirt.
He needs a shirt because I will tell you, it throws me off sometimes because I feel like he's almost like your manager interjecting in the fight. If I at least have the colors in my vision,
Yeah.
my brain will be able to be like, I might have a chance at maybe possibly winning this fight and not getting sandbagged. But the minute that this always happens, I'm like, it's time for a sandbag. It's time for me to taste some sand.
Okay. All right. One thing I also want, and I just thought of this now, I want entrances.
We're going to have
I want to come out with a
Yes.
posse.
We're going to have entrances. You guys are going to both have, the robes, the theatrics,
Yes,
the pageantry.
okay.
I'm going to try to shoot off some fireworks.
Perfect.
What else? We're going to have the commentators, the booth, and everything. We're going to stream it live. We're going to have a lot of theatrics. We have the undercard there. I think we're pretty much putting everything that we need. We're going to have corners. So you guys will have your own corners, like, those like
Yep,
little,
yep,
really
yep.
small chairs that midgets sit on. We're going to have two of those.
I need one of those because like if Tim gets me good and like I need to sit on the chair and then cut me so relieve the pressure, you know how it is.
Definitely breaks between rounds, and I think that's
Yeah.
what's contributing to the fact that I almost want to die at the end of round two.
I'm also going to drink water.
I don't know. Should we just get insanely trashed / dehydrated?
It's going to be the second one.
It's part of the fanfare
Yeah,
of
you're
the
right, you're
sport. You're at a barbecue. It's the thing is like, we've never done a scheduled event. They've all been like on the cusp. So I want this to have the feel of an on the cusp event.
Right.
But also just be like, okay, by the way, guys, we still have this plan tonight.
There is 100% chance I come out to the ring with a crystal head vodka skull around my neck.
Love it.
I'm with it.
This is the fanfare that I'm looking for. This is great.
It is
this
the
is
Logan.
the pageantry.
It is the Logan Paul Charizard. It is my crystal head vodka necklace.
I love this. I love it. I'm getting so jazzed. I'm super stoked for this.
I'm definitely just going to chug as many White Claws as possible before I come out. I even may come out doing it and slamming a few into the ground. Now, I don't condone pollution. I am going to pick them up at the end. It's just for the fanfare. Everything we do here is classy.
Yes.
I just want to stress that.
This is classy.
I am fighting for world peace.
It's true. And Tim is fighting for love. Or something like that.
Who cares? It's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be amazing. I am super, super amped for it.
I'm glad you had me on here to book this.
Yeah. No, this is exactly what I wanted to do.
I'm really happy to be here, guys. So some things we have to settle ahead of time is one, we need a ring girl.
Yeah,
Sauce
100%,
McGavin needs
100%.
merch. Definitely gonna have to work on our entrances. Still debating if we should just go back to the gym
Yeah.
or we should just like see just how much our bodies
Fail in a year?
fail, devolve, fall apart, whatever you want to call it.
Maybe trainers too.
Yeah.
To do the opposite of training, like a trainer that just like gets me out of shape more.
I lay down, I do a sit up and it just pours tequila in my mouth.
You just do a shot for every rep that you do.
Man.
What a sport. What a dream.
Yeah. This is where it's at. This is the future. We are the future of these fights.
I really think, this is a sport for Americans and people the world over can appreciate as well, or at least gawk at Americans doing. Just because you know what it is? We have so many sports out there that do require some type of athleticism, like, golf or bowling or curling.
Very true.
Those are the only three that actually require peak athleticism.
Darts.
Darts, exactly. And we've never seen a sport like this before that actually is the peak American body, where once you hit your 30s, everything just collapses in on itself. All of the Taco Bell and the 1 a.m. McDonald's runs just finally come to roost, and you pay the piper in spades.
I'm 100% getting McDonald's, by the way, after this.
I'm actually down for Mickey D's.
I
Right
am
now.
hungry.
I'm
All this
starving.
slapboxing talk, it is really worked up my hunger.
You want to go
starting
fight?
your
You want to
training.
fight in the lot? You want to get a quick round in on the lot? We'll just have a couple Big
That's
Macs
hot.
and then just knock out.
I kind of like it. I
That's
like
what
it a
we do.
lot.
That's what we're doing.
Just to train like a sparring match.
Yeah, a little practice.
A spar.
We could do it
It's a
right
spar.
next to the Ronald McDonald bench.
Yeah, there is a Ronald McDonald bench over there. It's kind of creepy.
He could be the
at
ref.
night.
He could be the extra ref.
Yeah.
We still got to bring sauce along.
He'd do better than Sauce.
Holy hell. Dude, I love
How
it.
can you say that?
Nah,
He called the
all right.
last 2 matches
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, I know. It's great. I just, the first one's a little questionable.
I'm actually really excited for the prospect of winning that match back into my my history book.
Yeah.
You know?
Me too.
There's a lot on the line.
I'm excited to stop that from
There's
happening.
a lot on the line, and I hope that for anybody listening that they'll join in
Yeah.
on the fun.
Yeah, I mean, if
In
you
April.
want to be in my posse that comes to the ring, please let me know, and I'm accepting all applications.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking for people to pretty much just do everything for me, which not only just includes rooting for me, but also doing all of my reading and handwriting, and basically just talking about how much money I have. In the actuality, I don't, because I blew all of it on Dogecoin, and I'm still financially recovering from that. But aside from that, yes, I'm taking invitations as well. We definitely have to vote on whether do we want to have one black match, as Danny calls it, or do we want to have potentially these 2 dream matches?
I want to have the 2 dream matches.
You want to have both of
Ooh,
them?
we may need a black match, though.
That's true. Wait, all right. So Danny's is the black match. Scott and Dale is the undercard.
Yes.
And then me and Tim is the main
Done.
event.
I have
Done.
I have also one more idea. I think we should have a mystery flavor match where people at that moment feel as if they want to step to the ring.
Yeah.
Like anybody,
a call-out match.
I like that.
Anybody should be welcome to do this sport. I think like a call-out match. Like if you want to come in, we'll just call 2 people want to have a match. We'll bring them in.
The mystery flavor match. Dude, this is brilliant. I love
That is
it.
a great idea.
We'll put that right after the Danny. So as people see what this is about.
Yep.
We'll have our
Get a little
blackout
feel for
match.
it.
Then we'll have the mystery flavor match. Then the undercard.
And then the main
And
event.
then the main event. This is literally coming together, guys. This is amazing.
I'm excited.
This is everything. This is the future of sports.
Yes. Our next presidential election will probably be decided by Slapbox.
It should be. It should be.
Yeah.
You guys may be the next president after this fight.
Well, we can both be president. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
I would share.
That's sweet.
I'd be
Because
willing to
I
share.
am bringing world peace with my victory.
And, I'm bringing love.
He's bringing
so,
love.
Yeah.
And that's all you need is love and world peace.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. Thank you guys for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
And
having
telling
us on.
Telling this was a great tale. So now everyone knows this is what white boys do in the suburbs. Thanks for tuning in.